Danielle Salzman, Salzy at the movies.
Hi, Danielle.
Quinn, it's so nice to see you again after all this time.
I know. I feel like we've known each other for a gazillion years now.
It feels that way. I mean, Tribeca was only 2018.
Oh my God. So crazy. But didn't we meet at the, we go way back.
Yeah. So what was the genesis behind the script of this brilliant social media influencer satire?
Oh, that's so nice. I actually came up with this idea in 2018, which is when I wrote the first draft of the film. And the idea came to me. I was really immersed in internet research for a different project. And I was watching all these YouTube documentaries. I was spending a lot of time on my phone. And I was just continually disturbed by the strangeness of our reality on the internet, of the rise of Trump America politics next to ads and people's vacation photos. And it was just such a bizarre cognitive dissonance. And I really wanted to come up with an idea for a film that could capture those huge tonal swings that our lives existed in the 10 seconds we would scroll on Twitter. And so that's where the idea for this really came from.
Yeah. And Zoe is phenomenal in the film. When you wrote the script, did you have her in mind?
I did. I kind of did. She was my first choice of the film always. I had her in mind really early on. And I just think she's made such a great career out of playing these very daring, sometimes scary roles where she's not afraid to be an unlikable character. She's not afraid to be provocative. And so she was somebody who immediately came to mind. I also think she has a really relatable quality that she's able to bring to a character who does a lot of really despicable things, so that the audience can see themselves in her and go along for the journey with her. So in my mind, she was the most flawless casting, and it was great working with her.
Yeah. And I love how the film features a warning at the beginning that it has an unlikable protagonist.
It's so funny. This is coming up in every interview. And I genuinely did not know that this was going to have the impact on people that it did. But it was honestly an idea we had in post because of the reactions to the film. I've been talking a lot about male-driven satire is something that almost everyone has grown up on and has seen quite a lot of, but there is not as much female-driven satire. And it was genuine feedback we would get where people would kind of not understand what the movie was purely because Danny was not likable. And they were but why? Why would you make this? Why is she unlikable? And it's almost they were missing the forest for the trees until we put the simplest warning on it, and genuinely people were no longer upset and understood that what the film was saying and whose side it was on. And it was kind of surreal how much that one detail really changed the way that the film tested.
So what was it like to work with this cast?
It was so much fun on set, honestly. Zoe and Dylan had just done a movie together, so they came in having a blast, doing so much comedy improv. We were just crying with laughter on set. Mia Isaac, who plays Rowan, is just phenomenal. This was only her second film and she was 17. And so it was just an honor getting to see her blossoming in the beginning of her career. She was amazing and honestly carried a lot of the heaviest scenes in the film. And then Nadia Alexander, who is also my fiance and was the lead of Blame, which is how we met. I wrote the role that she played in the film for her with her in mind. And I think she's great as Danny's very skeptical coworker who does not take any shit from her. And then around them, we just had the most incredible supporting cast. There were so many people I had been fans of before the movie. I think Karan Soni is someone who comes to mind who I just adored and dreamed of working with. And so the fact that he wanted to do it, I was fangirling my first day on set with him. But yeah, it was a blast, and it was just, everyone was so kind and collaborative, and we had a really good time shooting.
And pandemic aside, what was the most challenging aspect of the production?
Honestly, I think New York in the summer is its own challenge. New York in 100-degree weather, in cars, in also exclusively not air-conditioned locations. For some reason, the locations that I picked on Scouts, I just didn't notice that they didn't have AC. There's just not a single place we shot had air conditioning. And it became almost a running joke. I was sabotaging the cast by always picking these locations. So we were very sweaty all the time. But that was really that, and like traffic in New York. Like when we were shooting the car scene, we were like stuck in traffic, and there was heat lightning all the time because of the heat. So New York in the summer was the challenge.
And I can imagine that the lighting on set does not help with the lack of AC.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it was warm. It was warm. I think I have a photo on my phone of Zoe like hugging like those tubes where they pipe in air conditioning, just like spread eagle in front of it.
So compared to when you wrote and directed and starred in Blame, how did you feel you've grown as a filmmaker through the process of making Not Okay?
It's funny. I think on Blame, I really felt like I had to prove to everyone like how much I knew. Like I felt like I was like, I need to seem like I know everything and I have every answer, or else no one will take me seriously. Going in, I think I was so scared of people looking at me and seeing like a child directing. And so I was very nervous, and I felt like I needed to project so much strength. And on this, I really wanted to challenge myself to be more vulnerable and to ask more questions and to just be honest about the fact that like I don't know everything. I went into this, I'd never done VFX work before. I'd never done blue screen work before. I'd never done like large amounts of extras, like background actors in big party sequences. And so there were things that I really didn't know. And I tried to really push myself to ask like every question I had of my AD, of my DP, of my gaffer, like anyone I could talk to about advice, because I think that there's so much stigma around trying to be front so strongly as a young woman in the industry that sometimes it's like easy to forget you actually have to be vulnerable to learn.
And what do you hope people take away from watching the film?
I mean, I definitely hope that it just raises some skepticisms and questions about what you're consuming media-wise on a daily basis, and also how your own privilege impacts the way that you use platforms. I mean, I think depending on who the viewer is and who they see themselves in the film, I definitely hope it encourages people to self-reflect so that we can all not be Danny.
All right. Thank you so much. And it was so great catching up after all this time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great to see you, Danielle.
Yeah, I'll see you on Instagram.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye.